All right, check this out. 1 minute, our boy is just a regular single dad, a total corporate slave. The next, his daughter vanishes into thin air. You just know he's about to snap, right? But here's the kicker. They didn't just kidnap any kid. They messed with the daughter of a living legend, a former Black Ops agent known only as Number 66. This ain't a rescue mission. It's a boss hunt, and our boy is the final boss. A rainy night, a convoy of black cars slicing through the city. You know, when a fleet like this rolls up, business is about to go down. That's right, our boy Mr. Kim is officially on the hunt. Inside, Mr. Kim is just calmly adjusting his tie. The man is ice cold right now, looking less like he's heading into a war zone and more like he's just going to a quarterly review meeting. Meanwhile, in another car, the vibe is a little less chill. The driver looks like he's about to pop a blood vessel from pure rage, while the guy in the back is just casually wearing a mask. The contrast is insane. The whole motorcade is just tearing down the highway, engines roaring through the rain. And look at this close-up of our boy. Eyes shut, veins popping. The monster inside him is clawing to get out. The driver is literally sweating bullets. He's not scared of the storm outside. He's terrified of the angel of death sitting in his back seat. The sheer pressure coming off Mr. Kim is suffocating. And to top it off, the guy in the back just won't shut up, taunting him about how boring it must have been to be his driver for 5 years. Bro, you have no idea who you're talking to. And with that, the car stops. Our boy gets out, alone, and walks towards a cold metal door. Right now, only two images are flashing through his mind. The disgusting face of the man who took her, and the image of his poor daughter, tied up and crying in fear. On one side, a father's unwavering resolve. On the other, a criminal's twisted glee. When these two forces collide, you just know it's going to be a bloodbath. He pushes the door open. Judgment Day is here. He can't get the image of his helpless daughter out of his head. The memory of a promise he once made, just trust your uncle, weighs on him like a mountain. But that pain, that guilt, it's all fuel for the fire now. The memory of the kidnapping plays on a loop. This leopard print wearing freak grabbing his little girl, her terrified screams. It's all just feeding the rage that's building inside him. And the kidnapper is just standing there, taunting him with that sick smile, casually brandishing a dagger like he's in control. Little does he know, he's about to face hell itself. Seeing his daughter curled up and helpless, and then seeing that monster's face twist into a mask of pure, sadistic evil. That's it. Something inside our boy just snaps. The switch has been flipped. Kill mode activated. And just like that, the carnage begins. No more words are needed. Our boy isn't a manager anymore. He's an executioner. One slash, one body drops. And he's just getting warmed up. Look at him. He's not even breaking a sweat. He's casually twirling the knife with a little smirk on his face. He's not fighting. He's enjoying this one-sided massacre. Their pathetic screams are just background noise to him now. All that's left in his eyes is cold, hard resolve. Anyone standing in his way is already dead. Every step is deliberate. Every strike is personal. But underneath all that cold-blooded rage is a heartbroken father. He's not just screaming in anger, but in pure agony. Oh, would you look at that? Now the villain is the one who's terrified. He's finally realizing he's face-to-face with a real demon, and his mind is literally starting to crack under the pressure. Slice. Another one bites the dust. Our boy stands over him and calls out the next fool. You think you can F***CK with me? Bad call, buddy. Very bad call. And that's when he stops holding back. The mask comes on, the eyes glow red. This is no longer Manager Kim. This is Agent 66, and he's here to collect a debt. The appetizer is over. Now for the main course. With the underlings taken care of, our boy finally comes face to face with the man responsible. The final showdown is about to begin. Faced with his opponent's desperate attack, our boy doesn't even bother to dodge. This punch carries all the rage and despair of a father pushed to the edge. It's unstoppable. But his opponent isn't just some random thug. A mysterious power suddenly intervenes, catching even Mr. Kim by surprise. Looks like there's a much bigger conspiracy at play here. Out of nowhere, a masked man in military camo appears, landing a heavy blow right on our boy's face. The real fight, it seems, has just begun. Mr. Kim's rampage hasn't gone unnoticed. The higher-ups are getting word, and they know the situation has spiraled out of control. A pissed-off, top-tier agent is a threat to the entire city. Allow me to take care of this. A mysterious man in a suit steps up. He clearly knows what Mr. Kim is capable of, and immediately showcases some insane speed and power of his own. A voice crackles over the comms, warning him, as long as he has the monster with him, this isn't some little punk's fight anymore. It seems our boy is up against something far more dangerous than he imagined. This new opponent is insanely fast, his attacks are relentless, and every punch is aimed to kill. Our boy is in a tough spot now, and the blood on his face says it all. The mysterious transmission continues. He's bent on having you killed. And little do they know, a cold-blooded assassin in a camo hoodie is lying in wait, ready to strike. His superiors warn him to be careful, that his target has the monster on his side. But Mr. Kim couldn't care less right now. His eyes are burning with a fire that can't be contained. Then what if Minji is already? Once that horrifying thought enters his mind, he can't shake it. His expression shifts from pain to pure, cold resolve. He has to know the truth, no matter the cost. So what if he has to go up against that monster? Our boy doesn't care anymore. The struggle in his eyes gives way to steel determination. For his daughter, he'll fight the whole world. Bloodstained gloves wiping a cold, black mask. In this moment, the timid office manager is completely gone. In his place stands a cold, merciless revenge machine. He rips his jacket open, confronting his own partner. Are you in on this too? The seeds of doubt have been planted. From now on, he trusts no one. A new chapter begins. Father's fury. Our boy is back on the road, speeding through the torrential rain. The GPS is locked on his next target, and his eyes are filled with murder. The driver is visibly trembling from the sheer, killing intent radiating from the back seat. Meanwhile, Mr. Kim just sits there with his eyes closed, building up the storm that's about to be unleashed. Look at those eyes. Cold, sharp, and utterly devoid of emotion. The terrified driver has probably never seen such a terrifying gaze in his entire life. Floor it. Our boy has no time to waste. The engine screams as they fly down the road. There's blood on his lips, but his gaze has never been firmer. This isn't just a chase anymore. This is a one-man war waged in the name of fatherhood. The memory flashes back again. The moment he realized even his trusted ally might be part of the conspiracy. The feeling of betrayal sends him into a blind rage. The masked man reveals himself. He calmly cracks his knuckles, his blood-stained gloves telling a story of recent violence. Tossing off his cloak, he readies himself for the next fight. Mr. Kim and the masked man engage in brutal hand-to-hand combat. Every punch, every impact is filled with raw power and rage. This is just pure, unadulterated violence. He shows zero mercy. Grabbing the guy's arm, he gives it a savage twist. Crack. The sound of bones snapping is crystal clear in the night. For the people who hurt his daughter, there will be no mercy. Another sickening crack, and the enemy's other arm is toast. At this point, our boy is just a machine that knows only how to destroy, his back radiating pure, killing intent. A vicious kick connects with explosive force, sending his opponent flying. Mr. Kim is completely lost in this bloody feast of vengeance. Every punch lands with the sound of cracking bone. Every attack carries devastating power. The polite manager Kim has been completely replaced by this furious father. Fast, precise, and brutal. His attacks are like a hurricane. Grab the arm, land the punch, a seamless combo that gives his enemies zero room to breathe. And that's not enough for him. He straight up snaps the guy's fingers. Blood splatters, and the sound is just chilling. Mr. Kim's methods are becoming terrifyingly cruel. He slams his enemy into the ground with so much force it sends him spinning. This fight was over before it even started. With a complex joint lock, he completely neutralizes his opponent. Our boy just looks down at the defeated foe, not a single ripple of emotion in his eyes. But physical victory brings him no peace. He kneels in the rain and slams his head into the concrete, as if the physical pain is the only way to atone for his guilt and regret. But his revenge isn't over yet. He gets back up and unleashes another furious punch on the downed enemy, followed by a brutal, crushing stomp. The once arrogant masked man is now lying on the ground like a rag doll, and our boy's eyes, filled with cold, murderous intent, seem to ask, "Who's next? I'll do anything, even if it means ripping everything apart." With a beastly roar, Mr. Kim completely demolishes the enemy before him. In the face of absolute power, all resistance is futile. Mr. Kim adjusts his blood-soaked hand wraps, his eyes fixed coldly on the next target. He arrives at a data center, sweat dripping from his tense muscles. He strikes his own arm, as if using the pain to push himself, to keep his body at its absolute peak combat readiness. But then, a scene of pure despair unfolds before him. Inside a freezing cold storage unit, set at minus 30 degrees Celsius, a girl is crying over a lifeless body. Is he too late? Piles of dead fish, bloodstains on the floor, and the terrified face of his daughter. These fragmented memories piece together a vision straight out of hell. His daughter's voice echoes in his head. "Dad, don't you have any pride?" Her words cut through him like a knife, shattering his last line of defense. A father's pride means nothing when his child's life is at stake. I told you, she hit me first. Dad! Past arguments and his daughter's cries intertwine, tormenting him. Sometimes, a parent's pride can be their heaviest burden. For that pride, he would kneel, he would endure anything, because she's his pride, and that single thought becomes his only creed. He returns once more to that wretched container. A cigarette in his mouth, a blade in his hand, he knocks on the gates of hell. This time, the only expression on his face is one of grim, monstrous resolve. His silhouette against the rain, lonely yet determined. Standing before that door, he looks like a warrior ready to challenge the entire world. For his daughter, he is fearless. His eyes turn ice. He twists the handle, a cold smirk playing on his lips. He's ready for whatever lies behind that door, be it hope or a deeper despair. Behind the door lies a covered corpse. The smile on Mr. Kim's face grows colder, more twisted. He knows he's one step closer to the truth and one step closer to hell. The blood-red title, Manager Kim, screams violence and revenge. In the face of our protagonist, etched with pain and determination, is where it all begins. He begins interrogating a captured enemy. The man's pain gasps don't even make him flinch. Right now, he is an interrogator devoid of all emotion. When the enemy tries to fight back, our boy calmly meets him head-on. A single, devastating punch, and the fight is over. The sheer force of the blow sends the man crashing into the wall. Mr. Kim just watches coldly, his eyes filled with nothing but chilling, murderous intent. If I go back without killing you. He can't even finish the threat before the rage completely consumes him. Like an uncaged beast, he lunges at his prey. He brutally grabs the man by his hair, yanking him off the ground. This isn't an interrogation anymore. This is pure torture and an assertion of dominance. We dumped her in the cold storage to freeze her body. Hearing those words, Mr. Kim's clenched fist trembles. A single tear escapes his tormented eyes. Meanwhile, the fat bastard who spilled the beans looks like he's seen a ghost. You're doing all this just to retrieve her body? His captor asks in disbelief. Yes. For a father, even if it's just a body, he has to bring her home. After learning the cruel truth, our boy completely breaks down. He lets out a raw, guttural scream, blood and rain mixing as it flies from his lips. It's a moment of pure, tragic agony. But the breakdown is only for a moment. When he looks up again, his gaze is harder than steel. The pain has forged him into an even more terrifying weapon, and the flames of vengeance are about to burn everything to the ground. He shivers, walking towards the mine container, every step heavy with grief. The man kneeling on the ground is about to face the full, unbridled wrath of a broken father. The police are here. They're chasing us, a desperate voice yells. But our boy doesn't care. The bloodshot eyes, the clenched, bloodied fist, that is his only answer. With the cops closing in, the kidnapper takes a hostage and tries to frame our boy. Just pretend you don't know anything. Tell them you're just a juvenile who ran away from home. A desperate, cowardly plan. But then, a mysterious man in a suit appears, holding a black umbrella, looking down on the scene like a king. He gently holds Mr. Kim's face, as if trying to soothe the raging beast within. But it's too late. The monster inside Mr. Kim has been fully unleashed. With a thunderous crash, he charges towards that white container. Inside is everything he must reclaim. A contemptuous, dangerous smile spreads across Mr. Kim's face. He's found his target, hiding in shadows. What comes next will be a one-sided slaughter. Stab. The sound of a blade tearing through flesh again and again. Mr. Kim doesn't hesitate for a second as he drives the dagger into his enemy's chest. You thought I couldn't find you hiding under the tarp? He says coldly. A woman in a business suit looks on in horror, shocked that he found her so easily. The woman swings her blade in a counterattack, but our boy takes the hit right to the face. The wound only makes his expression more ferocious. A little cut like this will only excite him more. You're my pride. Those gentle words are now the soundtrack to his bloody rampage. He's arrived at the cold storage warehouse. The final answer lies just behind the door. The fight is over. The woman lies defeated, and Mr. Kim is heavily wounded himself. But he won. In the most brutal way possible, he has earned the right to get closer to the truth. The woman lets out a pained, terrified scream. The realization finally dawns on her. She messed with an absolute monster. Our boy lets out a beastly roar, while the kidnapper kneels by the body, wailing in despair. Two men at their breaking point. One driven mad by rage, the other shattered by fear. But he quickly composes himself and begins to meticulously inspect the scene. He carefully picks up a thin wire, his eyes sharp, not missing a single detail. It's a woman's hair. He makes the calm deduction, and then immediately loses it, grabbing the nearby scumbag and shaking him violently as the rage takes over once more. The gruesome scene suggests there was infighting. One looks like he was stabbed to death, he thinks. The other from blunt force trauma. Something here doesn't add up. Could it be that they fought amongst themselves? He stands with his back to the bodies, deep in thought. But he quickly senses that something is off. This looks more like a stage crime scene. And that's when he sees it, scrawled on the floor. "Dad, I'm sorry. I'm scared." It's a final message left by his daughter. The moment he confirms it's his daughter's handwriting, our boy completely shatters. He drops to his knees, his hand tracing the words on the cold floor, as if he can feel her fear and helplessness in that final message. He's gasping for air, staring at the body covered by the bloody tarp. All the clues are pointing to the worst possible outcome. A minus 30 degrees Celsius storage unit. Who could be the one linked to these bodies, he wonders. "Who are you?" he screams internally, vowing to find the mastermind behind it all. The scene cuts away. A man, tied up, is interrogating a masked figure. "Did Chairman Ju send you?" Looks like our boy has found a new lead. Our boy is on the verge of a complete mental breakdown. With a furious roar, he smashes everything around him. He desperately needs an outlet for the bottomless grief and anger consuming him. After venting his rage, he calms himself once more. He bursts out of the cold storage and runs back into the rain. He knows this is no time to grieve. His revenge has only just begun. Elsewhere, the man in the leopard print shirt wakes up in a warehouse. A soft tapping sound puts him on high alert. His eyes snap open. Danger is approaching. He's breathing heavily, his heart pounding in his chest. He creeps towards the door, his hand reaching for the handle, completely unaware of the fate that awaits him on the other side. The door creaks open, revealing a monstrous, terrifying face that sends the man peeking through into a state of pure shock. This horrifying reveal signals the start of a new slaughter. Mr. Kim smashes the door with his bare fists, the sheer force sending the guard behind it flying. He has become an unstoppable, humanoid beast. "Oh, you know me, right?" A deranged man bellows. The guy in the leopard print is frozen in fear, his gold tooth practically chattering. "Seriously doing this to me over a simple mistake?" The leopard print guy screams in desperation. But he's talking to a man who has lost everything and wants only one thing: revenge. With a wild, twisted smile on his face, our boy takes down his enemies one by one. In this den of criminals, he is the absolute ruler. But when he's finally alone, the soul-crushing pain returns. He collapses to his knees in the icy water, biting his fist to suppress the emotions that threaten to tear him apart. He's going to kill you, and everyone. The leopard print guy screams as he's sent flying. But his warning only makes our boy's killing intent burn even hotter. His eyes are bloodshot. He lets out a deafening roar and slams his body against the door again and again. Nothing can stop him. Nothing. He grits his teeth, focusing all of his strength into one final push. With a tremendous crash, the reinforced steel door is finally broken down. A flash of his gold tooth, a crazed smile on his lips. He unleashes a final two-fisted blow, completely shattering the last obstacle in his path. Outside the door, a torrential downpour and a mob of men in black suits holding umbrellas. Our boy kneels in the rain, filled with despair but ready to face his next enemy. The man in the suit holds his umbrella, looking down on the terrified leopard print guy. His oppressive aura is so strong, his opponent can't even move. This is what you call absolute domination. But the leopard print guy doesn't go down without a fight. He launches a desperate attack. The man in the suit, however, just casually swats him aside, sending him crashing into the wall. Mr. Kim crouches down, his eyes like daggers fixed on his captive. He doesn't say a word, but the threat of death hangs heavy in the air. He splashes a bucket of cold water on him. The interrogation has begun. He runs through the rain like a madman, his furious screams echoing through the night. There's only one thought in his head: find her and bring her home. Out in the rain, a woman in a black suit with a ponytail, her eyes filled with terror and despair. Could she be the next clue? The woman's silhouette looks so lonely in the rainy alley. But our boy, like a cheetah locking onto its prey, has already started his sprint. He's sprinting at full speed, his gaze sharp and filled with killing intent. He has to reach her before it's too late. He reaches the container yard. Raindrops splash against his glasses, but they can't obscure his piercing gaze. He's now on maximum alert. He's on a field in the pouring rain, leaping and sprinting like a man possessed. He lets out a beastly roar, as if declaring war on the entire world. He's running at top speed across the shipping containers. Not even the storm can slow him down. And then he sees it in the distance, a figure tied up and helpless. A man in a suit lies unconscious in the rain. This sudden development adds another twist to Mr. Kim's relentless pursuit. Mr. Kim lets out a furious roar as he sprints across the containers. Finally, he spots her, the woman, hanging upside down from the edge, in extreme danger. "Halt!" he screams. He leaps from a high ledge, crashing hard into the mud below. His daughter's terrified screams and his own furious roars mix together in the rainy night, creating a symphony of despair. A green car speeds towards them, its headlights illuminating his daughter standing in the middle of the bridge. Her face is covered in dirt as she raises her hands in desperation, as if pleading with death itself. The driver grips the steering wheel with cold determination. Meanwhile, the woman in black, her hands cuffed, tries to block the car with her own body. The next second, with a sickening thud, she's sent flying. The red-haired woman in the passenger seat is scared out of her mind, but the man behind the wheel, he's just smiling like the devil himself. It seems this was all part of his twisted plan. Gasping for breath, our boy doesn't hesitate for a second. He jumps from a ledge, his fingers just barely catching the edge. To save her, he's willing to risk his own life. His eyes burn with rage and resolve, his will to survive pushed to the absolute limit. But elsewhere, a gloved hand uses a pair of pliers to pick up a piece of bloody tissue. Our boy resorts to more brutal interrogation methods. He flicks open his lighter, watching with cold indifference as his captive writhes in agony. There is no mercy left in him. He grabs another one, savagely stabbing the knife into the man's throat. With a sickening crunch, another life ends at his hands. At the rainy container yard, a group of men in black suits lies in wait. Our boy's expression is grim but firm. He knows a tough battle is ahead. The man in the leopard print shirt is now on his knees, his face bloody, his eyes filled with terror. And the man in the suit standing before him just gives a cold, triumphant smile. It seems the leopard print guy has found a new ally, a young man in a black mask. They stand together on the street, ready for the next confrontation. They start stirring up trouble on the streets, inciting protests, trying to achieve their goals through chaos. The leopard print guy is laughing maniacally, but the young man remains cold and distant. But our boy isn't falling for their games. When the leopard print guy tries to ambush him from behind, he counters with a single devastating strike, unleashing a flash of blue energy. The masked young man descends from above, his killing intent palpable as he lunges for Mr. Kim. Meanwhile, the leopard print guy just watches from a rooftop, waiting patiently for something. News of an apartment redevelopment project flashes on the TV, and a man in the hospital bed looks on in shock. It seems this is all connected to his daughter's disappearance. The leopard print guy prays in desperation, but before him stands a cold-blooded assassin with a dagger, surrounded by a gruesome mess of dismembered limbs. Our boy tightens a cloth around his neck, his eyes filled with grim determination. He's found a mastermind, CEO Kai. Another name has just been added to his revenge list. Just then, a call from an unknown number comes in. Mr. Kim picks up the old flip phone, his expression unreadable. Will this call bring new hope or deeper despair? He arrives at the Midu apartment reconstruction area. Standing before a burning brazier, his gaze turns to ice. This is where all the evil began, and this is where it will end. Mr. Kim confronts his enemies once more. Their leader flashes a cunning smile, as if victory is already his. But all it takes is a single roar from our boy to strike fear into their hearts. Against his absolute power, their numbers mean nothing. I see that you're not listening. Your mind is elsewhere, his opponent remarks. He's right. Right now, the only thing on our boy's mind is his daughter. His response casts a deathly silence over the entire scene. He's making it crystal clear with his actions. Anyone who stands in his way will pay with their life. The enemies flash vicious smiles, confident in their numbers. But Mr. Kim just answers them with an even more ferocious glare. The battle is about to erupt. The wolf inside him has fully awakened. His eyes now hold the feral look of a predator, hungry for the kill. The polite office manager is gone for good. He calmly handles a steaming metal pot, seemingly preparing some kind of secret weapon. The leopard print guy watches from the side, too scared to even breathe. And the big reveal is boiled potatoes. Seriously, but look at the aftermath. Guts literally spilled on the floor, and our leopard print punk is screaming his lungs out. The polite Mr. Kim has officially left the building. It's beast mode activated. And here's the R-rated part. Our boy is completely stoic, like he's just filing paperwork, while shoving scorching hot potatoes down this guy's throat. Look at him, smoke coming out of his mouth, crying in sheer agony. You can almost feel the burn through the screen. This incident immediately becomes the stuff of legend. Word on the street is there's a guy who tortures people with steaming potatoes. Just look at this goon, completely broken, kneeling in the rain. Our boy used the most basic household item to build the most terrifying reputation. But the information he extracts brings everything to a horrifying halt. A hand covered in blood and mud, reaching out. Could it be? Is his daughter gone? While our boy bottles up his rage into a cold fury, the other guy just completely breaks down. The sheer weight of this possibility is crushing. But then, the scene shifts to something deeply unsettling. Our boy is the one on his knees, while some smug guy in a fancy suit looks down on him with a chilling smile. Is this a flashback to a past failure, or a grim look at the reality he's up against? That villain's grin screams pure confidence and control. Although you've committed something unforgivable, the villain's voice is ice cold. He looks down on Mr. Kim as if he's judging an insect. Our boy is on the ground, blood dripping from his mouth, a mix of sweat and agony. In this moment, he looks utterly powerless. Despite the immense physical torment, look at him. Our boy closes his eyes, seemingly gathering his strength, suppressing a volcano of rage that's about to erupt. His silence isn't submission, it's the calm before the storm. Back in the present, it's Mr. Kim who's in control. He's got the leopard print guy by the throat, whispering questions about kidnapping and murder. The punk might be beaten, but he's flashing a crazed grin. Meanwhile, our boy stares as cold as the Siberian winter. He's here for one thing: answers. The plot thickens. Mr. Kim gets a mysterious call, and they're talking about a Chairman Jew's plan. Look at that smirk on his face. He knows he's onto something big. But the guy on the other end is just as cryptic with his smile. This is clearly a high-stakes chess game. Meanwhile, the leopard print guy has fallen into the hands of a different crew. This bald dude with shades is kindly lighting a cigarette, but the whole act is dripping with humiliation and dominance. The poor guy just closes his eyes in pain. He's clearly at the bottom of the food chain, getting tortured by every faction in town. And this new crew does not look friendly. The bald guy is furious, but the young man next to him, the one with his eyes closed, he seems even more dangerous. And look at leopard print dude, tortured beyond recognition, flashing a sick grin. He's completely lost it. Wait, it was our boy all along. He's the one who put out the cigarette on the guy's face. The brutality is off the charts. When asked whose side he's on, he simply says, neither. That's right. He's on his daughter's side, and that's it. The leopard print guy completely snaps, laughing like a maniac. His insanity is so intense, it's freaking out the other gangsters. Even the bald tough guy is stunned. Mr. Kim didn't just break his body, he shattered his mind. Crunch. He straight up shatters the guy's jaw. The sheer brutality makes the bald dude scream in terror. No more questions, no hesitation. Anyone standing in the way of him and his daughter gets one outcome: annihilation. He stands calmly over the bloody mess, looking at the broken pawn on the ground. The scratches on his face, the earpiece feeding him intel. He's not just a frantic father anymore. The man who just wanted to cook for his daughter has become a cold, calculating machine of vengeance. Next target, Baldy. Mr. Kim descends like a hawk, launching a devastating punch. Wham! The guy doesn't even have time to react, his face contorting in pure agony. This is the power of a top-tier agent. A one-shot knockout, no question. With the trash taken out, Mr. Kim stands alone in the warehouse, his gaze as sharp as a razor. The flames behind him are a perfect reflection of the inferno raging in his soul. The polite office manager has been burned away, leaving only the avenging ghost of Agent 66. He doesn't stop, not even for a second. He's on the move again. In the pouring rain, he runs like a tireless cheetah, sprinting towards his next target. Every breath, every step is fueled by the unwavering determination to find his daughter. He even leaps off a freaking overpass like some kind of demigod. He'll ignore any danger just to save a single second. This rain-slicked road is his battlefield now. And on the other side of this hunt, we finally see her. His daughter, Minji. Her face is covered in filth, her eyes wide with terror and helplessness. She's clearly been through hell. The father's rage and the daughter's fear, the two plot lines are converging, and the tension is off the charts. Mr. Kim has locked onto the target vehicle. It's a high-speed chase in the pouring rain, and he's calmly making a call, likely mobilizing every resource he has. Behind him, his associates are dealing with something. This whole operation is professional, efficient, and absolutely lethal. Meanwhile, the enemy camp is in total chaos. The chairman isn't answering the phone. One of the subordinates panics. Mr. Kim's surprise attack has completely thrown them off their game. He just stands there silently in the rain, but his presence is crushing them like a mountain. That bald guy from before? He's completely losing it, flooring the gas pedal like a madman in the rain. He's desperate, heading straight for the chairman. Mr. Kim's plan worked perfectly. He's forced the enemy to panic and reveal their weak spots. Inside another car, a mysterious man is deep in thought. His expression is grim, his gaze sharp. This has to be him, the chairman behind it all, the mastermind who kidnapped Minji. And there's the confirmation. The chairman is coldly watching an unconscious Minji in his back seat. He has a faint, chilling smirk on his face, as if everything is going according to his grand plan. Father and daughter, one on a frantic chase, the other a prisoner. The final showdown is imminent. The chairman's crew is on high alert. The driver keeps a watchful eye on the road ahead, while the big boss himself is lost in thought, probably planning his next move. Minji's situation is looking more precarious by the second. Cutting back to Mr. Kim. He stands in the rain, every muscle in his body tense, trying to contain an ocean of fury. And just then his phone rings. Is this the signal for the final battle, or more bad news? These three panels perfectly capture his transformation. The calm office manager, the desperate father searching in the rain, and finally, the inhuman monster with glowing eyes, ready for vengeance. For his daughter, he's willing to become the very devil himself. A new chapter begins and Mr. Kim is in full-on agent mode. He gets his orders. Terminate someone under necessary circumstances. And like a predator on the hunt, he sprints through the rain and lunges directly at a speeding motorcycle. The next second, he's already on the back of the bike, scaring the absolute soul out of the driver. They're both screaming, but this scene isn't just about danger. It's about showcasing Mr. Kim's superhuman abilities and his do-whatever-it-takes attitude. Meanwhile, another plot thread emerges. A tough-as-nails guy covered in wounds, possibly one of Mr. Kim's allies, is cornered on a cliffside by a group of mysterious men in suits. Judging by their setup, these guys are serious business. These men in suits are apparently looking for a man wearing a Taekwondo uniform, and they're questioning an old man for information. This Taekwondo guy is most likely the same one from the motorcycle. He's definitely a key player in all this. Cut to the Taekwondo kid, and yep, he's been caught. He tries to bluff his way out with a note that says, "Thanks for repairing my car," but they're not buying it for a second. Look at the pure terror on his face. He knows he's about to be in a world of hurt. Bang! And that's the price for lying. These guys are ruthless. They don't give you a second chance. In the world Mr. Kim operates in, one wrong move and you're done for. After all that chaos, Mr. Kim needs a moment. He's in the shower, head in his hands, his posture radiating pain and exhaustion. Every move he makes chips away at his humanity, but for his daughter, he has no other choice. But the break is short-lived. Mr. Kim regroups. He's not fighting alone. He's got a crew of his own, people who are just as comfortable walking in the shadows as he is. A new storm is about to break over the enemy's headquarters. Meanwhile, inside the enemy's base, the atmosphere is just as tense. A guy in a robe is freaking out, while a man in a suit calmly walks deeper into the room. More importantly, we see another girl, looking terrified, with a cold-faced female bodyguard beside her. Could she be the key to this whole mystery? It seems our boy has already infiltrated the enemy base and is now interrogating this girl. Look at that fierce, confident expression on his face. He has absolute control of the situation. The girl can only nod in submission, too scared to resist. That's the kind of pressure a top-tier agent brings. You can't remember? Mr. Kim asks coldly. The girl is so scared she's speechless, pure terror in her eyes. What secrets is she hiding? Or has her memory actually been wiped? The girl's eyes dart to a photograph on the desk. A picture of a muscular guy and a blonde woman. Her face instantly pales as she asks in horror. Yesterday? Clearly, this photo has triggered a critical memory. The truth feels like it's just around the corner. Mr. Kim watches her panic, a cold smirk playing on his lips. He knows his interrogation is working, that he's close to the answers he needs. In this psychological battle, he's got the upper hand. Memories, interrogations, escapes. All the scenes are weaving together. From the madman holding a knife to his own throat, to the tense office standoff, to the chase in the rain. The pace is accelerating, and the mystery is getting deeper. The pressure from our boy is so intense the girl can't help but gulp in fear. His every move, every glance, is like a sharp blade piercing her psychological defenses. And the storm raging outside? It's the perfect omen for the storm of reckoning that's about to hit. He watches her calmly, like a seasoned hunter waiting for his prey to make a mistake. The girl's fear is exactly the opening he's been looking for. In this silent game of wits, Mr. Kim is in complete control. The storm outside and the standoff inside create a scene bursting with tension. Mr. Kim strokes his chin, his gaze deep and calculating, as if he's already seen through all the lies. His sheer resolve makes the air in the room feel thin. Suddenly, the bodyguard behind him rises, trying to intervene. But that just makes our boy flash an even more dangerous smile. He grabs the girl's shoulder from behind, and the intimidation factor goes through the roof. The girl is absolutely terrified, and in the shadows, Mr. Kim's profile looks downright demonic. He's like a judge returned from the underworld, and no lie can escape his gaze. In this moment, fatherly love and pure killing intent merge in his eyes. For his daughter, he will become anyone, do anything. The ordinary dad is gone, and in his place is a man with the fires of hell in his eyes, ready to drag his enemies down with him. The girl's fear has reached its peak, and Mr. Kim, like an elegant and deadly predator, closes in, savoring the moment just before his prey breaks. He knows the truth is about to come out. I hesitated for a moment because you are Hyri's friend. His words reveal a flicker of his remaining humanity. But then he likely remembers Minji, and that hesitation is instantly replaced by ice-cold resolve. I saw you putting on this act. Another man in a suit suddenly appears, interrupting the standoff. He seems to have seen through the girl's facade, and the bodyguard behind Mr. Kim tenses up, ready for a fight. The situation just escalated dramatically. The suit doesn't hesitate, pulling out a syringe, ready to get the truth out of her with drugs. The girl cowers on the floor, her eyes filled with despair. It seems no matter whose hand she's in, her fate is grim. Mr. Kim watches this unfold, his back to us, but his posture says everything. His shirt is soaked with sweat, his tense muscles promising an imminent explosion. Watching a girl get treated this way, it undoubtedly reminds him of his own daughter, and the rage inside him is becoming uncontrollable. And there he goes. Mr. Kim makes his move. He snatches the syringe and, with even faster and more brutal force, stabs it right into the suit's wrist. The girl watches, tears streaming down her face in shock. Our boy just made it clear. He's the one in charge here. A single drop of water creating endless ripples. Just like Mr. Kim, an ordinary father whose daughter's disappearance has created a tidal wave in this dark underworld. His eyes are filled with killing intent, all hesitation gone. He rings the enemy's doorbell. Outside, a torrential downpour. Inside, a lion's den. But he's here, carrying the fire of judgment, ready to turn this place upside down. Meanwhile, his captured ally hasn't given up. He grits his teeth, his eyes burning with rage and defiance, clearly looking for a chance to strike back. Even with a gun in his mouth, he hasn't lost hope. Slam! Forget playing by the rules, our boy just drove a car straight through the building. It's simple, brutal, and incredibly effective. That's his style. Tear down the enemy's defenses in the most direct way possible. An armored vehicle plows through, sending the guards at the entrance flying. The enemy scream in shock and anger. They never expected someone to launch an assault like a human tank. And who's driving? It's his tough guy ally. Cigar in his mouth, head wrapped in bandages, his gun still smoking. He's sending a clear message to the enemy. You mess with him and his friends, you pay the price. That scarred, savage look on his face signals a full-scale war. From this moment on, the name Manager Kim no longer stands for an ordinary office worker. It's a call sign, drenched in blood and vengeance. Code 66 has been spotted at Pyeong Takeport. A chase, monitored by national intelligence, is officially underway, and Mr. Kim is standing alone, right in the eye of the storm. The surveillance team quickly spots a target, a girl believed to be Code 60's daughter. She's dressed in a business suit, running terrified through the rain, finally stopping in front of a black sedan. Who is she, and why is she being chased? Intel reports the girl got into a foreign vehicle, and right on her tail is our boy, Mr. Kim, with his ally Hansu sewn on a motorcycle. Meanwhile, the mysterious organization in the car is monitoring the situation, clearly not believing for a second that this is all a coincidence. Code 66 is chasing his daughter? Was this a movie? The listener scoffs. But his ally, the tough guy with the bandaged head, knows better. His eyes are filled with conviction. He knows that when it comes to his daughter, Mr. Kim will do anything. But when the data on the laptop confirms the story, even the surveillance guy is shocked. And his ally just sits there, absorbing the terrible truth. His expression is heavy with pain, as if he can already see the bloody battle that's about to unfold. What should we do, sir? Should we report it? The subordinate asks nervously. But the man in charge remains silent, just tapping his fingers on the window. This decision will affect countless lives. Finally, he makes his choice. He shreds the papers, burying the intel. He's choosing to trust Mr. Kim. Or perhaps, he's more afraid of the monster that father has become. He steps out of the car and into the rain, ready to face the coming storm. Mr. Kim, with his allies in tow, walks step by step toward the enemy's lair. They say, it might be better if he's only after his daughter. They have no idea. For his daughter, Mr. Kim would burn the whole world down. The enemy obviously feels the threat. They draw their weapons, faces twisted in aggression. The air is thick with the smell of gunpowder. A brutal fight is inevitable. "You got a girl in there," his tough guy ally roars, raising his gun in the rain. Covered in wounds, a cigarette dangling from his lips, he's like an enraged lion, his presence matching the entire squad in front of him. And our boy, Mr. Kim, is watching from the shadows. He sees them silencing a girl, and that single image lights the fuse on his internal powder keg. His eyes sharpen. A cold, ruthless smile forms on his lips. It's hunting time. He stops hiding and walks straight out. At the door, multiple guns are already aimed at him. A hail of bullets is just a trigger pull away. But Mr. Kim's back shows no fear, only the resolve to move forward, no matter what. Mr. Kim and his allies turn the tables, holding the mastermind at gunpoint. They've seized control, backing the enemy into a corner. The girl can only cower in fear. When titans clash, mortals suffer. Chairman Ju, of Juyung Construction, the ally demands. But Chairman Ju just smirks and coolly presents a government employee ID card. His identity is far more complicated than they thought. This conspiracy runs deeper than anyone imagined. Suddenly, one of Mr. Kim's allies throws a punch, landing a solid hit on another fat guy's face. The lighter and cigarette go flying. Violence has escalated. It seems negotiations have failed, and now, only fists will do the talking. Chairman Ju acts calm, but you can tell he's furious inside. "I'm fine with you barging in here, kicking down my door, but..." His eyes are full of menace, hinting at the severe consequences of crossing his line. However, Mr. Kim's ally, the fat guy, is completely terrified by Chairman Ju's presence, his face twisted in horror, eyes rolling back. The chairman's aura is just that powerful. With just a smile, he exudes the threat of death. "I wonder why you're so calm." The fat guy trembles. Chairman Ju just gives him a cold stare, as if looking at a dead man. At the same time, another ally in a fedora has already drawn his knife, ready to strike at any moment. And then, the true hunter, Mr. Kim, finally makes his appearance. He walks through the rain and into this room filled with killing intent. His eyes are filled with the resolve of a reaper. The real star of this showdown has arrived. And he didn't come alone. He brought an elite squad with him. Every single one of them is a battle-hardened killer, marching in formation with their umbrellas in the rain. They look like envoys from hell, here to deliver final judgment. Mr. Kim stands behind the terrified fat man, his icy gaze fixed on Chairman Ju. His footsteps echo in the rain, each one like a drumbeat on the enemy's heart. The game is only just beginning. Everyone on Mr. Kim's team is a certified badass. The red-haired guy with the eye patch is roaring with fury, as if he has a personal vendetta against their enemies. This team of Avengers is unstoppable. Our boy stands in the rain, eyes closed, as if in a moment of silence for the lives about to be taken. The scars on his hands are a testament to his past battles and the weapons he'll use for his future vengeance. This scene feels like a funeral. Mr. Kim stands with his back to his team, facing the entire enemy organization alone. His expression is a mixture of pain and determination, as rain and tears mix on his face, washing over his broken heart. Eye Patch Guy makes the first move, using his umbrella as a weapon. His movements are as swift as a phantom, sending an enemy flying with a single strike. He has sounded the charge for battle, and Mr. Kim joins the fray. He winds up and delivers an explosive blow. POW. The enemy goes down instantly. In the face of absolute power, all resistance is futile. With a powerful kick, he takes down another one. His eyes are closed, as if he's feeling the flow of battle with his senses, each attack precise and deadly. His own allies watch on, their expressions a mix of fear and awe. Mr. Kim's teammates show off their incredible skills, but some are clearly shocked and horrified by the sheer brutality of the fight. The cruelty of this battle is beyond anything they could have imagined. Mr. Kim fights his way directly to Chairman Ju. The fat underling screams in terror, while a gray-haired subordinate peeks from behind a door, watching everything unfold. The hunter becomes the hunted. The gray-haired guy who was peeking, he gets taken out with a single kick before he can even react. Mr. Kim stands at the doorway like an insurmountable god of war, blocking all paths of escape. But even someone as strong as Mr. Kim isn't invincible. After a series of intense battles, he finally collapses in the rain, his body convulsing from exhaustion. His ally lies beside him, the broken umbrella a symbol of this brutal fight. It turns out, the previous battle was just a mental simulation. Our boy has already infiltrated the enemy's main base and successfully captured a key figure. From his cold, confident smile, you know he's more than ready for the bloodbath to come. Mr. Kim and his old partner, Han Sung, team up once again. They move stealthily through the rainy night like two seasoned wolves, silently closing in on their heavily guarded prey. They find a clue in the mud. Mr. Kim scoops up the muddy water, his eyes filled with pain and resolve. Meanwhile, Hansu is completely shocked by what he's seeing, as if he's discovered something unbelievable. This discovery sends Mr. Kim into a complete rage. His eyes turn blood red, his face contorts in a savage snarl, and he grips his phone so tightly it looks like it might shatter. The father has now been completely consumed by the demon of vengeance. The next chapter begins, and the content warning tells us it's about to get extremely violent. Mr. Kim holds a blade, his eyes filled with nothing but pure killing intent. A one-sided slaughter is about to begin. Mr. Kim and Hansu Song split up. Our boy shoots off like an arrow, sprinting at full speed through the rain. His target is clear, and his drive is off the charts. The wounds on his face and the blood on his lips are medals of his determination. In this war to save his daughter, he's long since disregarded his own life and safety. He grabs the fat guy he captured earlier, rips open his collar, and interrogates him with a savage look on his face. He's out of patience. Any obstacle will be crushed with the most primal form of violence. In front of everyone, Mr. Kim lets out a feral roar. His sheer fury sends the men in black stumbling backward in fear. This is the terrifying power a father can unleash when pushed to the absolute edge. He calms down and makes a call. He's leveraging his old network, contacting high-ranking officials in the National Intelligence Service, trying to use official power to solve the problem. He's showing he can play both the brawler and the strategist. But the answer he gets on the other end sends him spiraling back into despair. He listens in horror before smashing his phone in a fit of rage. The official channels are closed. Now, he's forced to take the darkest, bloodiest path. Mr. Kim unleashes all his fury on the enemy in front of him. Veins bulge on his clenched fist as he throws a punch with world-breaking force, sending the guy flying. How much longer do I have to put up with all this corrupt shit? He roars, slamming the enemy against the wall. He's not just fighting for his daughter anymore. He's declaring war on this entire rotten underworld. His ferocity scares everyone present into surrendering. They've never seen a man this terrifying. He single-handedly subdued an entire gangster hideout. That's the power of Manager Kim. Meanwhile, Chairman Ju's convoy is already making a move, trying to get away with Minji. His men in the car look out at Mr. Kim's team in front of the villa, completely terrified. They know a road chase is now unavoidable. Inside the car, Minji stares in terror at her captor, while the driver screams in panic. And Chairman Ju just watches it all unfold calmly under his umbrella, as if he's the director of this chaotic scene. Mr. Kim's team tries to intercept, but Chairman Ju's men are clearly well-trained. One of them tries to break rank and run, only to be shot down by his own side. Their discipline is as strict as it is ruthless. Using the chaos as a distraction, the chairman's convoy breaks through the encirclement. Catch them! Mr. Kim's men yell as they give chase. A fast and furious rainy night pursuit is officially on. Mr. Kim himself leads the pursuit. He stands calmly in the rain under his umbrella, but his gaze pierces through the downpour, locking onto the fleeing vehicles. He's about to teach his enemies the true meaning of despair. The captured fat guy, however, is now relaxing comfortably in a car. It seems he's either switched sides to join Mr. Kim, or he was so thoroughly beaten that he chose the only path that would let him live. In another vehicle, a man with a scarred face is playing mind games with the interrogated girl. What you need to know is that the 6 Venus aren't made for combat. They specialize in search and covert ops. Hearing this, the girl's terror only intensifies. Take her to the underground tunnel. Wait there until I give you the signal, the chairman commands. And all Minji can do is scream in despair, her fate completely in the hands of these monsters. Mr. Kim manages to find the captive girl. He covers her eyes with tape, seemingly executing some kind of plan. The girl trembles, unsure if this is salvation or a path to an even deeper abyss. "Are you okay?" One of Mr. Kim's associates asks with concern as he removes her blindfold. But seeing the blood on his lips and his savage expression, all she can feel is endless fear. "Can you walk?" the man asks coldly, a cruel smile on his face. He's not here to be a hero. He's here on a mission. Any liability could be ruthlessly discarded. At the same time, we see a flashback from Minji's perspective. She was kidnapped by two figures wearing masks with glowing red eyes. She screams in terror inside the car, but no one answers. This memory is the beginning of her nightmare. Mr. Kim's associate grabs the girl and starts using violence to extract information. She screams in pain, tears streaming down her face. To get intel, they'll use any means necessary, even on a potentially innocent girl. The armored convoy speeds through the rainy night. Inside, the fat guy is laughing triumphantly, as if mocking Mr. Kim's efforts. But little does he know, our boy has already set a trap that's about to spring. Like a ghost, Mr. Kim has infiltrated the enemy vehicle. He wraps a wire around Eye Patch's neck, his eyes burning with killing intent. His partner in sunglasses is subdued before he even knows what's happening. A new episode begins, and the warning screen is back to tell us things are about to get intense. 3 armored trucks tear through the rainy night. A massive road war is about to break out. Inside the trucks, the kidnapped hostages struggle in despair. But Mr. Kim's ally, the man in the hoodie, just holds his head and sobs quietly. It seems he knows these people, and the inner turmoil is paralyzing him. From now on, cut all external communication. Mr. Kim gives the order. His team executes it immediately, and the tension becomes palpable. This is a black ops mission with no turning back. Minji lies unconscious in the back seat, while Mr. Kim's allies plan their next move. The guy with the glasses, with a wire wrapped around his fingers and a killer look in his eyes, is clearly the team's assassination specialist. During the chase, Eye Patch suddenly notices something is wrong inside the car and lets out a cry of shock. He's realized it. They've been infiltrated. Death is sitting right beside them. It turns out this whole affair is connected to a secret negotiation between North and South Korea. Mr. Kim, the legendary agent, has been dragged back into a conspiracy at the national level. For his daughter, he must return to the battlefield he fought so hard to leave behind. And their enemy is a monster from the North. A super soldier covered in scars with muscles like twisted steel. Just the memory of him makes Eye Patch groan in pain. That's how terrifying this new foe is. That specter of a man isn't dead, the South Korean intelligence officer argues passionately. It seems Mr. Kim's supposed death was just a facade to deceive everyone. I never knew you South Korean bastards were so good at lying. The North Korean general scoffs with a condescending smile. The two sides are at each other's throats at the negotiation table, while the real chess pieces are fighting for their lives on the battlefield. The South Korean High Command finally issues their order. Tell him, stay low and never resurface. They've abandoned their most valuable asset for political gain. But they forgot one thing. A cornered pawn can flip the entire chessboard. The North Koreans made 2 demands, and one of them was to hand over Mr. Kim. Hearing this, Eye Patch roars with rage. To them, Mr. Kim is both a nightmare and a target that must be eliminated. And the second condition reveals a dark past. A masked soldier holds a crying comrade at gunpoint. This is a memory from Mr. Kim's past, an eternal scar on his soul. Please, his comrade begs in desperation. But Sergeant Kim, back when he was just a soldier, seems to have lost his mind. His squad mates behind him are stunned by his madness. I've spent all of my life protecting my country, he roars, pointing his gun at his own commanding officer. It turns out, he once tried to leave the organization because of his daughter's birth, only to be betrayed and stopped. The officer even insults him with vicious words. How do you even know it's your kid? That was the final straw. Bang! The gun goes off. Anyone who crosses his line dies. He's completely lost it. Just give him what he wants. The people around them scream in terror. They realize that this man will truly do anything for his daughter. He's no longer a soldier. He's a beast protecting his cub. Just do what he wants. He's gone berserk. His comrades whisper. Code 69, the masked demon, was Mr. Kim himself. He used his own madness to force the organization to let him go. Are you really willing to do anything? If we discharge you, his superior asks. And Mr. Kim, the young soldier, just answers with a look of pure resolve. Do it. For his daughter, he would pay any price. Flashback ends, and we're back in the present. Eye Patch stares at Mr. Kim with fury. He can't understand why a monster like him would give up everything for a daughter. But he's about to learn that a father's love is the most powerful force on earth. Mr. Kim has taken complete control of the car. With his cold gaze and absolute power, he's frozen every enemy in place. The driver lowers his head in fear, and even Eye Patch can only seethe in silent rage. He's no longer holding back, unleashing his full agent skill set. He neutralizes Eye Patch, knocks out the blonde guy, and scares the gray-haired driver half to death. The inside of this car has become his personal stage. He takes the wheel himself, starting a life-or-death race on the rainy mountain roads. He needs to break through the enemy's blockade at top speed to save his one and only hope, his daughter. The fight inside the car continues. Mr. Kim takes out the remaining enemies one by one. His movements are clean and efficient, every strike hitting a vital point, showcasing his top-tier combat skills. He's even fighting and driving at the same time, violently taking control of the driver to change the car's direction. The whole sequence is a thrilling display of brutal, beautiful chaos. His face is a mask of pure rage. Mr. Kim uses a seatbelt to choke the enemy, forcing him to swerve the car into a wild drift on the slick, rainy road. The pursuers behind can only watch as he disappears. The armored truck performs a screeching drift on the highway that looks like something out of a stunt show. Everyone inside is panicking, but only Mr. Kim knows this is just one small part of his plan. Our boy grabs the steering wheel himself, then uses the driver's head as a battering ram against the car's roof. Clank! The driver is out cold. With no one to slow him down, he can get to his daughter that much faster. His allies listen to the chaos over the radio. Their faces a mask of shock and fear. But the tough guy with the bandaged head? His expression is one of pure resolve. He knows Mr. Kim has passed the point of no return, and he has to follow. The armored truck speeds alone down the rainy highway. Inside, Mr. Kim holds his radio, a cold smirk on his face. The prey has entered the net. It's time to close the trap.